Well, let's wrap this bad boy up. I think I've already gone over my time with you. But I've been talking to my friend Dan Cicerci, and we're talking about scaling logistics innovation at Descartes Systems Group. And lots of stuff going on in the world right now. So we talked about cybersecurity. Again, I do believe we're heading for, potentially a cyber 9/11, a digital 9/11. And I think we're all should be proactive now. Don't be the one who gets hit because you worked with a whole bunch of smaller suppliers that maybe not able to ward off the bad guys. And we see it in the news all the time. The bad guys have gotten increasingly sophisticated. I went to that cybersecurity conference last year. There's state actors, China, Iran, etc. There's the hacktivists who are trying to get into our systems and telling us, to end capitalism or something. And then there's just the guys who are holding systems hostage. But these companies are getting increasingly sophisticated. I think I get a dozen phishing things a week in my email, and they only have to win once. So we talked a little bit about cybersecurity. We talked about who you guys serve, which is the carriers and certainly the drivers and a lot of the brokers. And you also work with shippers. And we talked about this technology suite. You guys are constantly innovating internally, but also buying up the companies that you think fit the suite of solutions that you guys have. Talked about the, what else am I missing here? I take notes as we go, and I just missed here. So we talked about the implementations and how the implementations have gotten easier, but still a challenge. And I love this part. Agentic agents like your Debbie, who is helping onboard drivers and doing it 20% better than the human team was. And I imagine before long, it'll be 40% or 60%.
Right. Well, and it's 20 percentage points better. So dramatically better than we were able to do it with our human teams.
So if you're doing it for your human teams, I'm assuming you're going to soon roll something out that we can all be using. But I think that's very exciting. And I also like what you said is we're not replacing our team, we're enhancing our team. I see, I think there's a lot of fear that AI is going to replace everybody. But Dan, we can't do that because I need a human to be responsible for the AI functions, because I can yell at that human and they will care.
Right. Well, it enables people to get out of some of the day-to-day and spend more time on the relationships and dealing with the edge case scenarios that are a problem. And you need people to do that.
Yes. And right now, somebody said to me a year ago, Ann Ranke from TIA said to me, if you could do just one thing to prevent freight fraud, what would you do? And I said, well, first off, I'd buy all the cool tech that's out there, the My Carrier portal. So you got to vet your partners. I said, but pick up the phone. The guy you talk to on the phone once a month about your load isn't the guy stealing from you. And I think that's where you said, hey, we'll free people up with the AI and allow them to build the relationships you're supposed to be building with your partners, whether that's a carrier or a shipper. Go to work. We also, last but not least, we talked a little bit about all the pillars that make up Descartes. We talked about your transportation management group, your routing and telematics group, e-commerce, I should say, and logistics service providers, last but not least, global trade and intelligence. Super important these days. And I will also say that there's a whole bunch of companies and countries that we're no longer allowed to sell to. The State Department will catch you if you're doing that. That's a really big issue for anybody who's a multinational. I've experienced this firsthand with one of my customers. They were selling something that people tried to buy in the Middle East. They said no, they caught it there. The next day they tried to buy it in Latin America. They caught it there. And then the next day they're trying to buy it in the US. This is global security that we are responsible for. And if you don't have data, you make the bad decision. This is not only security risk, it's reputational risk and the risk of really bad things happening. Anyway, enough of my blather. Dan, put a big old bow on this one. Final thoughts on the topic.
Well, look, Joe, I've appreciated great conversation. I mean, I think the takeaway is really the excitement around agentic AI. We share it. We're delivering some production capabilities. We're helping vet partners. Just to encourage, I think you hit on it, is be thoughtful about who you're partnering with and where your data is going to live. And at the end of the day, it's about freeing up the best and brightest people within your company to spend more time with your customers. And that's, to me, a great thing to enable.